Yeah, that's gonna happen to you a lot when you watch this movie. Really. I feel I feel a disturbance at my door. No worries, that was just a pile of little statements by a bunch of naysayers saying that this was going to be a rehash of Empire Strikes Back. Well, guess what? There's going to be a pile of that building up by my door because everyone's going to be leaving that statement at the door after they watch The Last Jedi because there is nothing Empire-like about this one. This one marches to its own particular yub-nub. I swear to God, this thing, just when you think you have it pegged, all of a sudden it spins it around on you. And even when you think it's going to settle in this way, then it spins it around on you again. The characters go down paths that you didn't expect. There are certain truths that you thought you were going to call, but then all of a sudden it spins it around on something again. The entire time in your head, when you walk out of it, you'll be hearing, "You'll spin me right round, baby, right round," because that is exactly how I was feeling during the whole span of this movie. I kept thinking I had it pegged, and there were certain things where in the beginning I was like, yeah, I bet it's going to go down this route, and in a fashion I was kind of right, but then all of a sudden it pulls the rug out from under me and does something beyond that. I am not in any shape, way, or form going to be going into spoilers on this because honestly I want people to go see it in lieu of Rian Johnson's debit card. Honestly, I wouldn't have noticed it if he hadn't have pointed it out. So why'd you have to go and point that out, Ryan? So for the sake of everyone, I'm going to be as spoiler free as possible. I might see if I can persuade Lynn to do a spoilery double review. This film kicks off immediately after the end of Force Awakens. At first I was disappointed when I heard that. I was like, oh man, I kind of like the idea of kicking off like a certain part down the road. It's a deliberate choice, and I'm glad. Now that we're seeing where it goes, it makes perfect sense, particularly after what happened at the end during Force Awakens with the Republic getting nuked and all that. That's not a spoiler if you haven't seen the movie. The stakes are consistently felt throughout. Yes, they had a victory at the end of Force Awakens by destroying Starkiller Base, but it still doesn't mean the First Order is stopped. This is a tilt-a-whirl. This is like that teacup ride at Disney. You know what? This is Disney property, so it's possible. And driving, I was very happy. I have a 30-minute drive home, and because here I was going like, so the best I can do is talk about the things that you probably do want to know about. First off, the cast. Cast across the board, absolutely on point. For the veterans, all two of them, Mark Hamill, career best. Definitely blows everything he's done as Luke in the prior films out of the water. Totally. And for Carrie Fisher, for an unexpected swan song performance, you would never, even if she did have some cognizance of her mortality, she was giving it her all in this movie. It's going to be really hard when episode 9 comes out, and knowing the fact that they had to compensate for this unexpected loss. What we have here, it wasn't something like Paul Walker where it happened mid-production and they had to compensate for it. They gave her something that we are going to happily remember her by, and it is utterly, utterly beautiful. As for the new characters, all of them, from where they were in Force Awakens, it's amazing how he got from here. The one I have to address, Poe Dameron, he gets some incredible moments in this thing. You still don't know much about it, but you really don't care. There's some characters you're comfortable not really knowing anything about. You just like them for being them, and a backstory doesn't necessarily benefit the character. Then you got Finn and newcomer Rose. And here's another thing that I have to say is very deft about this film. It's adding new characters. There's 3 new characters in this one, which you'd think would weigh the movie down, but no, they have great stuff with them. And then you have Rose. The amazing thing, I gotta say, and this all goes back to really good writing and good direction, actually I'm gonna say, and good concept. The character Rose, the funny thing is, we already know something about her pretty much at the second we see her. Once we, just using simple visual storytelling, that's enough for us to get to know who this person is and her motivations, and it's incredible. I was totally taken with the way they utilize that to already give us a kind of a head start on getting to know this character and understanding why she follows Finn on his little adventure. Now, on that topic, they go to a world where, I will say, Compared to everything we've ever seen in Star Wars before, I've never seen... In a funny way, it kind of reminds me of the Star Wars equivalent of the Capitol from the Hunger Games. We meet Benicio del Toro's character. It lent an unexpected level of satire to this film I wasn't expecting. I was thinking, are they talking about the franchise, or are they talking about just human nature? And it's kind of freaky when you think about it. But if we want to keep it innocent, yeah, he's probably just talking about the franchise. Then you got the other two main characters. Oh man, just... the path of Kylo Ren and Rey, respectively, in this movie, it goes in routes that I forgot that was possible in the realm of Star Wars. That here you have, I would say, maybe 3 or 4 disparate plots that are happening all at the same time, and yet somehow they found a wonderful way to keep them tight together, in particular Rey and Kylo Ren's development, which on one side, yes, like I said, I did expect, but then they spin. And it's great. I can't get any further. I want to tell you so bad, but I can't. So with all these words of praise I give it, is there any cons I can give to this movie? It's not so much that Snoke is a bad villain character, far from it. Actually, if there's any reason he's a great villain, it's in this movie, and it even leads to some incredible, very intense moments in a very ornate throne room that looks like something like if Dario Argento did a space opera. It was very red. Say my niggle with Snoke has to do with the fact that, and it's sad because I'm really happy they go with what they do here, but because they do, I get the feeling that we may not get to know him as well as I think we should, because there's been a lot of fan speculation as to who he is or what he's all about. So because what happens with him in here, I don't know if we're going to get that. But once again, we don't know what's going to happen in episode 9. This thing ended and it went in such a way that by the end of it, you're just like, now we got to wait 2 years. I'm going round and round, but really I can't think of anything more to say without getting too spoilery, so I'm just going to leave you with this. If you're a Star Wars fan, you're going to get your fill. If you even are a casual fan, you're going to get your fill, and you're going to get more than you expected. So by and large, even with that one con I said, I can't think of anything that's going to stop me from giving it a perfect Narcotic Castle rating of... Do you agree? Do you disagree? Do you think this is mediocre by comparison? Or do you think that they are going levels that made trump the originals? Leave it in the comments below. That's what it's for. And for more addictive content on Narcotic Casserole, simply like, share, subscribe, click, thou shalt be served.